Adams County Code Law number 2 is back in session. Court is in session in 2 cases, cause number M333534 and cause number M333538. The case is styled the state of Texas versus Tijuan Mack. Mr. Mack, is that your full name? Mr. Mack appeared earlier in court, and Mr. Mack, at the time, we had one case that I think the court went over. I have before me the 2 cases. It's cause number M333538 and cause number M333534. Now, Mr. Mack, first document that I have is titled Judge's Explanation of Rights to Defendants Without Attorney. You recognize this document?
Yes.
And is this your signature on the line that's titled Defendant?
Yes, sir.
And are these your initials on line stating you want your case? You want to waive your right to attorney and represent yourself?
Yes, sir.
I also have this document that's titled Waiver of Counsel for purposes of entering a guilty plea or proceeding a trial. Do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
And is this your signature on the line that's titled Defendant? And again, before you signed and initialed these documents, did you read the documents?
Yes, sir.
And did you understand what you read? And is everything in these documents true and correct to the best of your knowledge? Okay, Mr. Mack, your case is going to be reset. Give him a reset date, and we're going to put it on the announcement docket. Our court, yes. Our court coordinator is going to give you a reset. Once you get your reset, you'll be free to go, and you have a blessed day. Please stand on the X in front of the court coordinator. Do the series before. I need to give him some bond conditions too. Yeah, give me I need to give him Mr. Mr. Mack, I need to give you some bond conditions. And that time, thank you. Mr. Mack, you just been handed a document that is titled Standard Bond Conditions in County Court at Law Number 2. Do you see that title? You have to speak up. Okay, I'm going to go over these bond conditions with you. And it reads, following the return of a criminal information in County Court at Law Number 2 of Jefferson County, Texas, all bail bonds executed for release of any defendant named herein are ordered subject to the following additional conditions. Number 1, defendant shall commit no offense against the laws of this state, any other state, or of the United States. Do you understand that condition? And condition number 2, the defendant shall submit to testing for drugs and alcohol at any time as directed by the court. The court may revoke the bond and order the arrest of any defendant who A, refuses to submit to a test for drugs and alcohol when directed to do so by the court, or B, submit to a test for drugs and alcohol, and the test indicates the presence of drugs or alcohol in the defendant's body. Do you understand that condition?
Yes, sir.
Now, condition number 3, I'll just read. Condition number 3 states that the defendant shall not communicate either directly or indirectly with the alleged victim of the pending offense, and the defendant shall not go near any residence or any location frequented by the alleged victim. You understand that condition?
Yes, sir.
Now, condition number 4 does not apply. However, condition number 2 does apply. Condition number 5 does apply. And condition number 5 states, the defendant is prohibited from possessing a firearm or ammunition unless defendant is a peace officer as defined by section 107 of the Penal Code, actively engaged in employment as a sworn full-time paid employee of a state agency or political subdivision. Do you understand that condition?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, now if you violate any one of these conditions, your bond can be revoked. If your bond is revoked, a warrant will be issued for your arrest and you'll be placed in the Jefferson County Jail. Do you understand that? Okay, please stand in front of our, you gave Ms. Reset? Yeah. Okay, you're free to go and you have a blessed day. Next case is cause number M333640. Case is style of state of Texas versus Donovan Foxall.
I did him. Where I did it. You did him while I was signing the other ones up.
Oh, is that? Oh, you go. Oh, yeah, give it to, okay.
Let's call him for work. So.
Next case is cause number M325502. Case is style of state of Texas versus Tashila Dejanay Cole. Ms. Cole, would you please raise your right hand? Ms. Cole, do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth so help you God?
Yes, sir.
Ms. Cole, I have before me a document that is titled Information. This information was filed by the Jefferson County District Attorney's Office. In this information, it alleges that you, Tashila Dejanay Cole, on or about December 16 of 2019, while you were in Jefferson County, Texas, committed to Class A misdemeanor offense of fraudulent removal of writing. Ms. Cole, do you understand what you've been charged with?
Yes, sir.
And to this charge, Ms. Cole, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
No contest.
Now, Ms. Cole, are you pleading no contest freely
Yes, sir.
and voluntarily?
Sir.
And are you pleading no contest because you do not wish to fight or contest the charges? Are you pleading no contest because you do not wish to fight
Yes, sir.
or contest the charges?
Yes, sir.
Ms. Cole,
Yes, sir.
I have another document, two other documents before me. And the first document I have is titled Misdemeanor Plea Admonishment, also labeled as State's Exhibit Number 1. Do you recognize this document? You need to come up a little closer to see it.
Yes, sir.
Okay, on page 2 of the same document, there's a set of initials, 2 sets of initials. The first set of initials is on a line next to a box that's checked nola contendere. Do you see that?
Yes.
That means no contest. The second set of initials is next to a box below a paragraph that's titled Discovery Admonishment, and it states, I do not request discovery of evidence. I waive my right to request discovery in the case and choose to enter a plea of guilty or no contest. Did you place your initials on this document?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, on page 3 of the same document, there's a signature above the line that is titled Defendant. Is that your signature?
Yes, sir.
On the next document is titled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Right of Appeal. Do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
And is this your signature on the line that's titled Defendant?
Yes, sir.
At the top of this document, there are 2 boxes that's checked. The first box that's checked states that this is a plea bargain case and you have no right of appeal. Do you understand that?
Sir?
The second box that's, the box that's checked up here, the second box that's checked states that you're waiving your right to an appeal. Do you understand
Yes,
that?
sir.
The first box that's checked states that this is a plea bargain case and you have no right of appeal. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Now, Ms. Cole, before you signed and initialed these documents, did you read the documents?
Yes, sir.
And did you understand what you read?
Yes, sir.
And is everything in these documents true and correct to the best of your knowledge?
Yes, sir.
State, I have before me State's Exhibit Number 1, Misdemeanor Plea Admonishment. And I also have State's Exhibit Number 2 in the court's file, the probable cause affidavit. State, would you like to offer State's Exhibits 1 and 2?
Yes, Your Honor.
Now, Ms. Cole, the state is offering State's Exhibit Number 1 into the evidence. That's the first document that has the box checked on the front, your initials on the second page, and your signature on the third page. It's misdemeanor plea admonishment. The state would like to use this as evidence in your case. Also, the state is going to also use the PC, we call it the probable cause affidavit or the police report. They want to use that as evidence in your case as well. Is it all right for the state to use that, both of those documents as evidence in your case?
Yes, sir.
Okay. No objection. State's Exhibits Number 1 and 2 are admitted. Ms. Cole, are you a citizen of the United States?
Yes, sir.
Ms. Cole, is there any evidence that you are currently mentally incompetent to stand trial?
No, sir.
Okay. Ms. Cole, I will accept your plea of no contest. I will find that you are mentally competent to stand trial. I will also find that your plea and waivers were freely and voluntarily given. And I will also find that there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. State. Okay. Do we have a plea bargain agreement?
Your Honor.
And what is that agreement?
An agreement for a plea of no contest, state's agreed to recommend 1 year deferred adjudication community supervision,
1 year defer,
a $500 fine,
$500 fine.
court costs,
Okay,
40 hours community service, Your Honor,
40 hours community service,
and theft claim.
deaf class. Okay. That's 500. Oh, 2. 7, 20. Okay, Ms. Cole, the state is offering that you serve 1 year of deferred adjudicated probation. During the 1 year probationary period, you'll be required to pay a fine of $500 plus court costs of $402. You'll also be required to pay a probation fee of $60 each month, a year analysis fee of $15 each month. You'll also be required to pay a restitution fee. Is anything?
There's no restitution.
No, it's no. I mean, it's a rest. They call it a restitution fee
Okay.
in this document. There's no fee for the theft class, right? Okay.
Not that I know of, Your Honor.
Okay. So now, Ms. Cole, the total amount that you would have to pay each month, that is in monthly installments, is $165 a month. Will you be able to pay the $165 each month?
Yes, sir.
Okay. You will also be required to perform 40 hours of community service, and you'll be required to attend a theft class. You will be required to attend and complete a theft class, and you will also be required to adhere to the other standard terms and conditions of your probation. Ms. Cole, do you understand the state's offer?
Yes, sir.
And do you think that the state's offer in your case is fair and just?
Yes, sir.
And do you accept the state's offer?
Yes, sir.
Ms. Cole, I'll follow the plea bargain agreement that you have entered into with the state. Ms. Cole, if you successfully complete this probationary period, this case will be dismissed. It will not result in a conviction on your record, and you may qualify for non-disclosure. You can talk to an attorney about a non-disclosure. Now, Ms. Cole, you're gonna stand in front of our court clerk and follow her directions. Once you finish following her direction, you'll be free to go, and you have a blessed day. She's right here, first. Next case is cause number M331774, case of style of state of Texas versus Joseph Larnell Hillocks. Mr. Hillocks, would you please raise your right hand? Mr. Hillocks, do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Hillocks, you may put your hand down. Mr. Hillocks, I have before me a document that is titled information. This information was filed by the Jefferson County District Attorney's Office. In this information, it alleges that on or about July 25th of 2021, while you were in Jefferson County, Texas, that you committed the Class A misdemeanor offense of assault family violence. Mr. Hillocks, do you understand what you've been charged with?
Actually,
Okay, now, Mr. Hillocks, what we're gonna do is, if you don't know what you've been charged with, you can
I
actually.
know what I've been charged with, but I didn't find out about it till like,
Okay, but you know what you've been charged with. Okay, now, to this charge of assault, family violence, how do you plead? Not guilty, guilty, or no contest? Now, are you pleading guilty freely and voluntarily? And are you pleading guilty because you are guilty? Mr. Hillocks, I have before me another document. This document is titled, hold on a minute. Okay, Mr. Hillocks, I have before me another document. This document is titled Misdemeanor Plea Admonishment. It's also labeled as State's Exhibit Number 1. Do you recognize this document? Okay, on page 2 of the same document, there are 2 sets of initials. One set of initials is on a line, and the initials are JH. And the first set of initials is on a line that is next to a box that's checked guilty. Or did you place your initials on this document? The second set of initials is below a paragraph that is titled Discovery Ammunition, and it is next to a statement that reads, I do not request discovery of evidence. I waive my right to request discovery in the case and choose to enter a plea of guilty or no contest. And the initials are JH. Did you place your initials also on this line?
yes, sir.
On page 3 of this same document, there's a signature above the line that is titled Defendant. Is this your signature? And on the next document is titled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Right of Appeal. Do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
And is this your signature on the line that's titled Defendant? There are 2 boxes that's checked at the top of this document. The first box that's checked states that this is a plea bargain case and you have no right of appeal. Do you understand that? The second box that's checked states that you're waiving your right to an appeal, which means you're giving up your right to an appeal. Do you understand that? Now, Mr. Hillocks, before you signed and initialed all of these documents that I've just mentioned to you, did you read the documents?
Yes, sir.
Did you understand what you read? And is everything in these documents true and correct to the best of your knowledge?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Mr. Hillocks,
Yes, sir.
are you a citizen of the United States?
Yes, sir.
State, I have before me State's Exhibit Number 1, the misdemeanor plea admonishment. State, would you like to offer State's Exhibit Number 1?
Yes, y'all.
Mr. Hillocks, I have before me a document that is titled Misdemeanor plea admonishment, is also labeled State's Exhibit Number 1. The state would like to use this as evidence against you in your case. This is a document that you acknowledge that you recognize. And on page 2, this is a document that you acknowledge that these were your initials. And on page 3, you acknowledge that above the line is titled Defendant, that this is your signature. State would like to use this document as evidence in your case. Is it all right for the state to use this document as evidence in your case? Okay. No objection. State's Exhibit Number 1 will be admitted. Mr. Hillocks, is there any evidence that you are currently mentally incompetent to stand trial? Okay. Mr. Hillocks, I will accept your plea of guilty. I will find that you are mentally competent to stand trial. I will also find that your plea and waivers were freely and voluntarily given. And I will also find that there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. State, do we have a plea bargain agreement?
We do, Your Honor.
And what is that agreement?
In exchange for a plea of guilty, the state agreed to recommend 1 year deferred adjudication, community supervision, $1,000 fine, Your Honor, court cost, 80 hours community-based service, and attendance and completion of the batteries intervention prevention program.
Okay, Mr. Hillocks. Well, let me do this. Okay, Mr. Hillocks, the state is offering that you serve 1 year deferred adjudicated probation. During the 1 year probationary period, you'll be required to pay a fine of $1,000 for court costs of $337. You will also be required to pay a probation fee of $60 each month, a urinalysis fee of $15 each month. You'll also be required to pay the state the reimbursement fee. I think it's called, yeah, reimbursement fee of $15. Your total monthly installments that you'll be required to pay each month is $205. Will you be able to pay the $205 each month?
Me and my wife, we share a bill. And we don't get food now, we don't get, we're not on
Okay.
or anything.
You gotta, okay, let me see if they got a magistrate's.
And we have 6 kids.
Okay,
We're
hold on.
trying to do what we can.
Okay. Can you pull up a magistrate on it? I can't pull it up on mine.
Judge will waive the fine.
You waiving the fine?
We'll waive the fine on this case.
Okay. So let me do it this way. Wait, do I define? Let me see. Okay. Oh. That's so in a minute. Okay. Okay. Now, Mr. Hillocks, the state is waiving the fine, so I'm gonna repeat the state's offer. State is offering that you serve 1 year deferred adjudicated probation. During the 1 year period, you will not be required to pay a fine. However, you will be required to pay court costs in the amount of $337. You'll also be required to pay a probation fee of $60 each month, a urinalysis fee of $15 each month, and a reimbursement fee of $15. Your total monthly installments, that is the total amount that you'll be required to pay each month, is $114 a month. Will you be able to pay the $114 each month?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And you'll be required to perform 80 hours of community service, attend and complete the Batterers Intervention Program, and you'll be required to adhere to the other standard terms and condition of this probation. Mr. Hillocks, do you understand the state's offer?
Yes, sir.
And do you think that the state's offer in your case is fair and just? And do you accept the state's offer? Okay, Mr. Hillocks, the court is going to follow the plea bargaining agreement that you've entered into with the state. Mr. Hillocks, if you successfully complete the probationary period, this case will be dismissed. It would not result in a conviction on your record, and you may qualify for a non-disclosure. You can talk to an attorney about the non-disclosure. Before you leave, you're going to stand in front of the clerk's window and follow her directions. Once you finish following her directions, you'll be free to go, and you have a blessed day. Thank you. Okay, we have any pictures? Which one is that? Greco? Okay, court is in session and calls number M332602, case to style the state of Texas versus John Thomas Greco III. John Greco was scheduled to be in court this morning at 9 a.m. for the court's arraignment docket. At about 9 a.m., the court's bailiff called the name of John Greco at the courthouse door. John Greco did not answer. John Greco has not appeared in court since the court has been in session. Mr. Bailiff, would you please call the name of John Thomas Greco? And the time is 1:28 p.m. on today's date. May 5th, May 2nd of 2023. John Greco's name was just called again at the courthouse door. John Greco did not answer. Reasonable time is passed, giving Mr. Greco an opportunity to appear in court. State, do you have a motion?
That motion, bond.
That motion will be granted. John Greco's bond will be forfeited and a warrant shall be issued for his arrest. And this will conclude the calling. Before we do that, what happened on Elton Grubbs?
That was reset.
Reset. On page 1, what happened on Hartman Shoshone?
That was a club. Well, no, I'm sorry, that was reset, but that one came.
That was reset. And okay, that's it. Everybody else is here. And this will conclude the calling of the court's arraignment docket scheduled on today's date of May 2nd, 2023, County Court on Law Number 2. Judge Terrence L. Holmes presiding. Everyone, please have a blessed day.